No. Here, and that can only mean one thing. I'm Derek Hill, and Thanksgiving is coming.
I'm Jade Iannace, and Derek, you forgot about NJAC title games here at Rowan University.
Ah, darn. Silly me. I can't believe I forgot that. Let's waste no time then. Let's see how the women's cross-country team fared. Jade?
The women's cross-country team won first place at the NJAC Championships on Saturday. Diane Ferreira won the individual championship on the 6K course, capturing a time of 22 minutes, 31.4 seconds. Alyssa Sanders would finish second, while Shaylin Clark would finish sixth. It is the team's sixth conference title and their first since 2012.
The men's cross-country team took second place at the NJAC Championships on Saturday. Cyril Harvey crossed the line in sixth place on the 8K course, posting a team best time of 25 minutes 4 seconds. Kevin Lauer would follow behind him in seventh, posting a career best time of 25 minutes 7.7 seconds. Ramapo would win the meet.
The women's volleyball team finished their regular season with a 3-0 win against Cabrini College. Senior Kaylee Gallagher and junior Tori Mock both recorded career milestones in the match. Gallagher finished the match with 8 kills, giving her 1,000 kills for her career, while Mock had 32 assists, giving her 2,000 career assists. Natalie Ogden led the team with 11 kills, followed by Simone Sperano with 18 digs and Jackie Campanelli with 13. The Profs are the second seed in this week's NJAC Championship tournament and received a first-round bye. Rowan will host the semifinal game on November 7th at 7 p.m.
The number 10 Rowan field hockey team beat FDU Florham 3-1 in the last regular game of the season. Christina Hovell, Rachel Stone, and Juliana Glieger each scored a goal. Christina Cantagnola and Bridget Ginnon also contributed with 1 assist each. Both teams totaled 10 shots, and goalie Morgan Novak had 3 saves. The Profs are 14-3 overall and ranked 3rd in the NCAA South Atlantic region.
Now here's Jerame Leipfinger with what's happening in pro sports. Jerame?
Thank you, Jade. The smoke has cleared from this past Sunday's NFL action, and only one team remains undefeated. The New England Patriots fell to the Baltimore Ravens by a score of 37-20 to suffer their first loss of the season. Tom Brady threw for 285 passing yards, and both Julian Edelman and Mohamed Sanu had 80 receiving yards each, but it wasn't enough to stifle the Ravens' dangerous dual-threat quarterback Lamar Jackson. He had a decent game through the air, passing for 163 yards and a touchdown, but really shined in the run game, pitching in 61 rushing yards and 2 scores. The Patriots fall to 8-1, but still lead their division by a comfortable margin, while the Ravens improve to 6-2 and hold first place in the AFC North. On Wednesday night, the 76ers fell to the Utah Jazz by a score of 106-104. Joel Embiid led the way with 26 points and 16 rebounds, but it wasn't enough to stop the Jazz's late fourth quarter push. Sixers point guard Ben Simmons exited the game late in the first quarter after suffering a shoulder injury, and the Jazz used his absence to their advantage. He has been diagnosed with a sprained shoulder and has been ruled out for at least the next week. The team's next game will be against the Denver Nuggets on Friday evening. In other league news, Hawks center John Collins has been suspended 25 games for violating the league's anti-drug policy. Collins tested positive for an illegal growth hormone that the NBA classifies as a performance-enhancing drug. This news comes on the heels of Suns center DeAndre Ayton receiving a similar suspension for another type of PED less than a week ago. The highly anticipated Nate Diaz versus Jorge Masvidal UFC fight concluded in a very controversial fashion this past Saturday night. The match began with Masvidal taking the clear advantage out of the gate, and Diaz was struggling to get into a groove. By the end of the second round, Diaz was badly bruised and battered, the worst of it being a huge gash above his left eye. He then managed to start his comeback in the third round, landing a couple good hits on Masvidal. It looked as if the momentum was about to swing in his favor until the cage-side doctor deemed Diaz's cuts and bruises severe enough to stop the fight entirely. Masvidal emerged as the winner by TKO, outraging many UFC fans nationwide. Diaz immediately called for a rematch, then followed it up a couple days later by saying on Instagram that he had changed his mind. It's been a quiet offseason so far for the MLB, but the Phillies made headlines this past week when they announced they've reinstated outfielder Odubel Herrera. He had previously been suspended by the team for violating the MLB's domestic violence policy during the 2019 season. He was arrested at a casino in Atlantic City in May for aggravated assault towards his girlfriend. His reinstatement does not guarantee a roster spot for him, but opens the possibility for the Phillies to include him in a trade.
Hey Jeremy, how are you?
I'm doing all right, Derek. How are you?
I'm great. I feel like I don't ask you that a lot on this show. But I got to ask you right off the bat, as a Sixers fan, how sad are you that Ben is injured and that they've lost 2 straight?
I'm not too sad about it. You know, injuries are going to happen throughout the course of the season, and they face 2 really tough teams. I think, you know, they're bound to go through some growing pains in the beginning of the season, but, you know, it only counts during the very end. So as long as they iron out the kinks in the first, 20 games or so, I think they'll be okay.
That's the statement of a true basketball fan. Wait it out. There's 82 games for a reason. This Nate Diaz fight, Jorge Masvidal, mouthful.
Oh, yeah.
Really controversial, but Jeremy, you and I were talking before the show. How bad did Diaz's eye actually look?
When we were watching it live, it really did not look that bad, but I actually saw a picture posted on social media afterwards, and it looked really, really serious. It was very swollen. There was a lot of stitches in it, and so I understand why the ref called the fight then and there. I think he could have sustained a major injury if they kept going. So even though the result is not what the fans wanted, I think for Diaz's health, they had to stop it there.
Do you think there will be a rematch?
Yeah, I think so, because money talks, and if they offer both the fighters the right amount, you can get them to do anything, really.
Jeremy, I know you said that the Phillies recently reinstated Herrera.
Thanks, Jade. It's that special time of the week, the one where sports and video combine to create something truly spectacular. A time where we can bask ourselves in sporty greatness and take in all the athletics Rowan has to offer. So, without hesitation, let's check out some women's field hockey. This is the Tape Down. Women's field hockey showed why they're 15-3 yesterday as forward Bridget Ginnon picks up the ball and dribbles it down the field. Then a crafty pass off the captain, Casey Wagner, who continues the teamwork to Liz Fox, who takes a quick spin and scoops the ball in for the first goal. Hello, the ice cream shop is open for business, and Liz Fox is scooping goals for everybody as you see the spin move and then the cherry on top for that first goal, ice cream cone. But the sweet times don't stop because Morgan Novak is in the goal. Kane picks up the ball and quickly dribbles it down and shoots, but the veteran goalie knocks it out and keeps the 1-goal lead. Then Kane forward, Leah Piazza tries to fool the defense, but wha-bam! A save so good, you gotta watch it twice. Piazza dribbles it to the side, and a quick shot, but Novak says, "Not in my house," and denies any hope of a Kane comeback. Liz Fox would keep the energy going in the 4th period to push the Profs to 4-2, and the win over their conference rivals. I'm Sean Kelly, and that's the Takedown.
Wow, Sean, I'm going to have to ask you later for what the hours on that ice cream parlor are, because I'm planning on having a great Thursday night out in the town, because it seems like the field hockey team, they really had it coming. But the Rowan football team took on the Montclair State Redhawks on Saturday at home. In the second quarter, the Profs would take the lead after Mike Husney scampered into the end zone for a 10-yard score. This would put the team up 17-7. The Redhawks would go on to score 17 unanswered points, including a diving catch in the end zone by Carson Johnson to give the team the lead with 5:31 left in the 4th. The Profs would drive down the field but would be stuffed at the line by the Redhawks defense, forcing a 3-and-out on the 4-yard line. The team falls to 2-6 on the season as they prepare to travel to Christopher Newport University this Saturday.
The women's soccer team defeated William Patterson University 2-0 in the first round of the New Jersey Athletic Conference Championship Tournament. Forward Daria Jones scored both of Rowan's goals, with her first goal in the 27th minute when she knocked in a loose ball that Casey Lebonsky hit the crossbar with. Jones got her second goal in the 73rd minute after chipping in a ball crossed in by midfielder Aiden Sheehan. Rowan ended the game with 23 shots, while William Patterson had 5. Goalkeeper Bristol Pizzuto had 4 saves for the shutout.
In the first round of the NJAC playoffs, the men's soccer team hosted the Kane University Cougars. Down 1-0, Matt Hendrickson would tie the game for the Profs in the 52nd minute on a penalty kick. It took double overtime to decide the game as Kevin Primich's shot from beyond the box was tipped by the goalkeeper, but still eked in on the left side for the Profs. The seniors' first goal of the season helps the Profs to advance to the next round in the playoffs.
The women's soccer team ended their season with a 2-0 loss at the College of New Jersey in the semifinals of the NJAC Championship Tournament. The Profs were the 4th seed, and they finished the year with a 10-8-1 record. TCNJ midfielder Amelia Curtis scored the first goal in the 5th minute, followed by forward Juliana Bertolino with the second goal on a breakaway after a pass from midfielder Taylor Nolan. Rowan goalkeeper Bristol Pizzuto made 7 saves. The Profs fought hard but ultimately did not come out on top.
The men's soccer team is moving on to the NJAC semifinal after their 1-0 win on the road against the Ramapo Roadrunners. The Roadrunners will be running back home to start their offseason following Modou So's game-winning kick in the 86th minute. The team will take on the winner of the Stockton at Montclair State game on Saturday. The Profs' last NJAC title was in 2003. That's all we have for this episode of All Access. I'm Derek Hill.
And I'm Jade Iannace. For Jerame Leipfinger, Sean Kelly, and the rest of the All Access team, have a good week, Profs.